Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at this Ergo M575 Trackball Mouse from Logitech. I mainly got this for my new Alienware laptop, if you guys haven't seen that video previous to this. So I got this mouse at Amazon, and it comes in two colors. This is called graphite, and then you have another one that's the white version, and actually there's a third option, but it's really hard to find, or it's really hard to get, and that's the black version. And so yeah, the ones that are most readily available or easily able to get or purchasable are this one, the graphite, and the white one. The graphite is $48.89, and the white one is like $49.89. And you can get them depending on the time of order with Prime, same day, next day, or 2-day delivery. I got mine this past Wednesday, June the 8th. I ordered it Wednesday night because I couldn't find any of them at Best Buy or Walmart. So I ordered it through Amazon Wednesday night around like 9 o'clock in the evening. And I got it very early, like 5 o'clock in the morning the next day, Thursday, June 9th. And this is their new eco, I guess, friendly packaging. So let's take a look at the box. You have the name of the model right there, Ergo M575. It replaces the Ergo M570 that I have, that I'm replacing it with. So you can pause that, read it for yourself. It has Ergo, and then it has a picture of the mouse, the Logitech, and then the wireless USB receiver. Here on the left side, it just says Ergo M575, and some it's in different languages. And you have a QR code right here, so you can probably scan that and find out more information about the mouse if this was, like, let's say, at a retail store. Here on the back is more info on the Ergo M575, and on the right it says 24-month long battery life with the included battery, probably. And then another QR code right here, and then right here you can use dual connectivity either through Bluetooth or the USB-C wireless receiver. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, so this is their, like I said, their eco-friendly packaging. The old packaging I think was a little bit bigger, and it came with like this big poster on like quick use and installation guide or something like that, pairing using user guide, which this doesn't have anymore. You do get this safety information right here, and probably the warranty. And then right here is actually a little flap, so if you open this up, that's your quick user guide right here. As you can see. But trust me, this if you've ever used any kind of mouse or any kind of wireless mouse, they're pretty simple. It's either plug and play or pair and play if you're using a Bluetooth. And the mouse itself is like this. There's the graphite color, and this color actually matches up really well with my new Alienware laptop, even the trackball that it comes with, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And it came and had this inside the box, so you just have to remove that, so then you can start using it. So this is there so that the battery doesn't get worn out over time while it's still being stored. And man, I don't have any nails. Let's see if I can open this. And that's the battery it comes with. It says alkaline. I don't know what type, but I'm probably going to replace it soon with the a Duracell or Energizer battery. And here is your wireless USB transmitter, receiver, whatever, right there inside there. So if you don't use it, you can just keep it in there so that you'll never have to lose it. But I already paired this with my laptop, so it's paired via Bluetooth. Actually, before I put this cover back on, Let me show you guys the mouse that I'm replacing it with. This is the Logitech Ergo 570. And same thing. So let's see what the differences are. Actually, this one is actually a little bit easier to open, if you ask me. The battery's already gone. I took it off. And here's the receiver on this one. Now, if you guys are curious, can you mix up the receivers between this receiver with that mouse? No, they don't work. They're not interchangeable. Although I did read that the mouses or the trackballs are interchangeable. But so even within the same M570 models, you cannot interchange these receivers. They're specifically paired with the mouse that they come with. So here to my right is the 575, and on my left hand is the 570. On the 570, the only button or switch you have is an on and off switch. And I don't know if this was Bluetooth. I think it was just, you know, you had to pair it with that USB transmitter or receiver and plug it into a USB port. Whereas the new one is Bluetooth and wireless receiver. And as you can see right here, the button right here is you can press the button to use it with one computer that you have that's plugged in with the USB receiver, and then or you can just press the button and use it with another computer that you have it paired via Bluetooth. And then there's your on and off switch right there. And in this up top here, it says Ergo M575. The other good thing I like with this is that it does have these rubber like pads or feet, so it doesn't move around on your desk. But I don't really keep it on a desk. I usually use it as a remote control with my computer, and you'll see that in a little bit. So here on the top, as you can see, this one is a little darker in the gray color than the new M575. The 570 has a more bluer trackpad, and it actually feels a little bit smoother than this one. This one has kind of a rough like feel to it, or not really rough, but you can hear it. Let me put it next to the microphone. You guys hear that on that mouse? And then here on the M570. Okay. The buttons are a little different. I like the buttons actually better on the 570. They're more distinguishable between the back button and or forward button, back button right here. That's what that is the default configuration for the button. So you don't really have to use the trackball mouse to hit the back arrow symbol on your Windows Explorer desktop. And then their scroll wheels are pretty similar as far as they have this rubbery feel. But the scroll wheel on the new M570 is a little bit bigger, and it's a little bit wider and a little bit easier to scroll or use. Also, another difference here at the top is that this has some grooves here to make it less slippery and more easier to hold than the M570. And all around, it's just slightly bigger, and the buttons, the click buttons on here are a little bit bigger. And the reason why I'm replacing this is because I've had this for a while now, actually over 4 years maybe. And I've read this in different forums and also on Amazon's page, at least for this mouse, the 570, that the right clicker or the left clicker, no, the left clicker, this is that we use a lot. Over time, there's a little like sensor on the button inside that over time gets worn down. So now whenever I do this click, it doesn't respond sometimes, or it'll do I have to click it more than once. And I usually have my Windows buttons on Windows to have it programmed to it's just a one click. So now I have to do a double click. But then sometimes if I do a single click, it'll actually do a double click on the actual mouse through Windows in navigation. This button right here is pretty fine, but sometimes it's hard for me to use a drag and drop on this part on the right mouse click. So that's why I'm replacing it with this new M570. And why am I going with this then? If it has that issue, maybe this M575 will have the same issue, right? Well, the thing I like with the Logitech, and like I said, I use these as a remote, is that I have other mouses. Like I have this one, the Jellycomb. This is also a Bluetooth mouse, and it's supposed to have a higher sensitivity or DPI settings and stuff like that. And you can pair this with 3 devices. But I've noticed unless I have it down on the desk and I'm using it, I usually use it like this as a remote. All my mouses, it doesn't. Sometimes it's non-responsive when you lift it off a desk. Some of these mouses, it feels like they have to be on a desk. And here is my other mouse. Review will be coming soon. Is the Deaf Mouse from Elecom. And this one is good because you don't have to be right or left-handed. As you can tell, obviously, with these Ergo mouse, it's only going to be ergonomic if you're using it with your right arm and not your left. And same thing with the Elecom. Every now and then when I keep it lifted up, it loses the sensitivity to, or the arrow key with the ball, how you control the trackball. And I wanted to love this, but I don't really like it as much as the Logitech just because of that. These two, the Jellycomb and the Elecom, are sometimes are very laggy sometimes when you lift it up and try to use it as a remote control. Whereas Logitech, I've never had issues with the responsiveness on the trackball mouses. Okay, so now let's talk about why I use a trackball mouse instead of a regular mouse. I have been a long time trackball mouse user ever since Microsoft, I think, released their wired trackball mouse. And then from there I went with the Logitech trackball mouses and have never gone back. I've actually had a wired version of these Logitech mouses also. Now the astute among my longtime viewers are probably saying, but wait, didn't you get a gaming mouse from Corsair? And yes, I did. So here is my desktop that I built back in 2017, 2018. I got this Corsair, I forgot the name of the keyboard. I think it's the Corsair Vengeance keyboard, and then this it came with a, well, it didn't come with it, but I paired it with this gaming mouse right here, and I can't remember the name of this Corsair gaming mouse. Probably Vengeance also. Let's just say it's the Vengeance series. And I tried to use it for gaming, but ultimately I ended up not using it. And actually I lent this out to my nephew until he got his Razer mouse, and then he gave this one back. But the whole reason why, and here's reason or advantage number one to using a trackball mouse over a regular mouse, is if you don't have as much space. Because with the regular mouse you still need a mouse pad. Well, you don't really probably necessarily need to use a mouse pad, because at work we don't really have mouse pads for our mouses, but you know, you need that area to move the mouse around, like, right, to do these kinds of movements and stuff like that, to move the mouse around and move it around, or the arrow. You have to move the mouse around to get the arrow or the cursor key around on your desktop. So now let's look at my desktop, where my laptop is. So right over here is my desk that I use for my laptop, and as you can see, it's dominated by my big 43-inch smart TV, Samsung QN90A, that will have a review coming out pretty soon. But the unboxing already came out if you guys are interested, and see how much desktop room I have for any kind of mouse or mouse pad. Pretty much nothing. And that's the beauty of the trackball, is that you can use it in a very little space. You don't need that space to do this, to move the cursor around your window. You could just do this. And so here it is paired with my Alienware. As you can see, it's got almost the same type of colors as my Alienware M15R7. It even has like the trackball mouse color, more so on the older M570 right here, because the default lighting scheme on the Alienware M15, if you guys didn't see my unboxing of the Alienware, is that Aurora blue or blue color that it has, which the blue color most matches this trackball over this one, but otherwise the colors are pretty close, so it matches up and pairs up real well with my Alienware laptop. So that is advantage or reason number one why you would want to use a trackball mouse, is because they're easier to use in where space is very limited or constrained. Like if you were to bring your laptop with you on an airplane and you have to use your laptop on like one of those trays, the airplane trays, you're not going to be able to bring a mouse and use it. I mean, you probably use you can use your your trackpad on your laptop, but I usually never really use a trackpad on any of my laptops. I've always been using the mouse, more specifically the trackball mouse. Advantage number two, I normally use this as a remote control. Like I said, whenever I'm using my computer to watch movies, or just when I don't want to be sitting on my desk, I can use the mouse as a remote control. So using a trackball mouse as a remote control is probably one of my, if not is my favorite feature about using these mouses. Like I said, because you don't need a mouse pad or any surface to move the cursor and use it to use the mouse. You just use a trackball because it's optically censored, something like that. You can use that as a remote control for your computer. So like, let's say you have family get-togethers and you're sitting in a couch, or you're reviewing one of your videos and you're just at your couch instead of on your desk. You could just use the mouse as that remote control. You can just plug in your laptop to your big TV screen in the living room and then use it like a remote control to watch movies, or maybe like to review some of your videos and stuff before you publish them, right? Another advantage or use case scenario for a trackball mouse, especially for the ergonomic mouses, is that you can use them to prevent wrist fatigue. You might get thumb fatigue, but I've never experienced any thumb fatigue. But I have noticed, since I've switched from a trackball mouse, since all those many years ago with the wireless trackball mouse, is that I don't have wrist fatigue no more, or wrist issues. If you don't, you can prevent it from happening because you don't have to do all of these. And there is a video I saw where they're talking about that on Logitech with these ergonomic mouses, is that it keeps your wrist in a more natural position, as you can see, versus like, say, if you were using a regular mouse, your wrist would be turned that much more like so, instead of here in a more natural, that's what we call it in training, is a more natural, what they call neutral wrist position on most of these, unless like I said, unless you're left-handed. If you're left-handed or you're ambidextrous, use one of these mouses like this, a deft mouse, which can work for both left or right. And then one more scenario where you can use a trackball mouse instead of a regular mouse that you need a mouse pad or a hard surface with. Let's say you're in a cast, and so you're using this hand to type, and the cast, you guys seen people with casts, they're probably like this, or you have a sling. You could use the mouse like so and use it to control your desktop or computer this way, which is really nice and handy, and you can't do it with a normal mouse. So I mean, those are just some of the scenarios that I thought of, but like I said, my favorite feature is to be using it as a remote control when I have my laptop plugged into our big TV in the living room when we're watching family movies that I videotaped, or if I downloaded a new movie and I want to watch it with the family, I can just plug it into I can plug in my laptop, which used to be the Aero Gigabyte laptop, onto the big TV in the living room and use the trackball mouse as a remote control. So yeah, I love trackball mouses. They're pretty much the only mouses I've used, even with my laptop. Because on a laptop, I think the trackpad on most laptops are too small. Or for me, I just never got used to using the trackpad on a laptop. I've always used a mouse. And I've always used one of these trackball mouses. And so right now, this mouse right here, the Ergo, I use with my desktop. This mouse I actually use with my tablets. This new Logitech Ergo M575 I'll be using with my new Alienware laptop. And if I get my Aero 15 fix, I'll probably use it with the Aero 15. And this one, well, you guys already know, this one's getting replaced by this because of the issues I'm having with some of the responsiveness on the buttons, because the sensors have already started to wear down on these buttons right here. So yeah, that's that. So are there any other scenarios that you guys can think of for using a trackball mouse? Do you use a trackball mouse, and how do you like it? And why did you switch up to a trackball mouse if you do use one? If you do use a trackball mouse instead of a regular mouse, why do you use it? And what was your reason for switching to it, and what do you like about it? Let me know in the comment section. It's always interesting and to find out why people, have certain things or do certain things the way they do. Again, you can get this, not these. Actually, you can get all of these on Amazon. This was like $40. I'll put links to each of them in the description. Yeah, these were like $35 or $35. And then this one was like $49.98 on Amazon. And maybe I'll do a comparison video pretty soon on all three of these mouses right here, and what I like and don't like about each of them. But let me know if you guys want me to do that in a future video. But yeah, I've always used trackball mouses. I just always liked them because, number one, they're easier to use, especially where space constraints are concerned. And then number two, you have the advantage, especially with the wireless mouses, of using them as a remote control. The trackball mouse as a remote control for your desktop. Okay, so here we are on my laptop that's plugged into my Samsung monitor right there, or smart TV. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to pretty much connect the mouse to your laptop or to your computer. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I've already paired it, here's the wireless USB-C receiver or transmitter, whatever they call that. So we're just going to go to settings right there on Bluetooth and devices. You can see the Ergo is already paired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the device. So we'll start it from scratch. So now the mouse is not paired. We're going to go here on the Alienware laptop, and I'm going to plug this USB wireless receiver onto the one of the USB-A ports, and once it's plugged in, there you go, it clicked, something clicked. Okay, so once that's plugged in, the receiver, USB-C receiver, you're gonna see this right here on the bottom of your mouse, and right now it's blinking because it's trying to look for Bluetooth. I'm gonna just hit that button once, and you'll see a solid white LED, and that means the mouse is now paired with that receiver. So now if I go to my laptop, as you can see, I can move my cursor right there. It's moving around. I can go here and start like clicking folders, hitting the back button and all the other stuff, closing windows with that cursor. So that way right there is the easiest way, right? But let's say you don't want to plug in the USB receiver, because you want to keep your USB ports available for other things like I don't know, let's say an external drive or a flash drive like this flash drive or something like that. I mean, let's say you're limited in your USB-A ports, so you don't want to use this, and so we could just go Bluetooth. So for Bluetooth, we're right there in system settings, Bluetooth and devices, and now I don't have a mouse, so you're just gonna hit add device. So now I'm gonna use my trackpad, this thing right here, which I'm not normally don't like to use. Never gotten used to using any of these trackpads. We're gonna say add device. So hit the plus button, and it's gonna go here. It's gonna say what kind of device. It's gonna say Bluetooth, and it should see the mouse. If the Ergo mouse doesn't pop up on here on the menu, just click this so it could pair via Bluetooth. So I'm gonna press that button, and it's gonna flash right there, blue. And now see the Ergo mouse right there popped up. So I'm gonna go here to Ergo mouse and click that, and it should connect, and there you go, it connected just like that, that quick. And now see, I'm connected again via Bluetooth with the Ergo mouse. Now let's look at the software that the Logitech Ergo mouse comes with. So the Logitech Ergo 575 comes with this software. I think it's called Logitech Options. That's what it says right there. And I thought I've already installed it, but I guess I got an update. So I have to update the software, so this will be good because it's almost like the same thing as installing. So when you do the installation, it'll give you this notification saying help us improve our products. Yes, share analytical data. I'm gonna say no thanks. And then right there it's installing the Ergo mouse software. Zoom in a little. Whoop, what happened? Oh, there it goes. And there it is. So right there is the picture of your mouse, and see, it tells you what the buttons are. That top button right there over the main left click button is forward, and then the bottom is backward. There's your trackball, there's your middle button, and also the scroll wheel. And you could swap left and right buttons, and then there's more. Under more, it tells you about the device, and if you're experiencing any difficulty, you can send feedback, backups. You can make backups of your settings, and I'm not going to do that because I already did. On software, it tells you the version of the software, and you can check for an update, which I already did, and it's, as you can see, it already says software is up to date. Support, developer mode, and then analytics. But since I did not agree to analytics or everything or anything like that, if you want to, you could do it right here if you changed your mind and you want to help Microsoft. And so from right there on more settings, I'm going to just click the X button and get out of there. And then the point and scroll right here, you could do your pointer speed. And the pointer speed was actually a little bit lower. It was like, see where my arrow or cursor is? It was actually right there. But I put it closer towards the middle, so to make it more faster and a little bit more, I want to say precise, but it's not really. On here under applications, you can create custom settings for specific applications. So on the Logitech options here on the bottom, you can see add remove devices, and then here in the middle on the bottom of the window it says Ergo M575 Trackball. It tells you how much battery you have left and what how you're connected. And you can see it says you're connected, and you have the Bluetooth symbol right there. And the mouse, you can use it for all applications or specific applications. So let's say I want to try to use it to where I can create a profile for DaVinci Resolve, but haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. I'm going to probably have to go look at the manual and see how to do that. Here on software under developer mode, it says allows you to install and use unsigned third-party application profiles for developmental purposes. Learn more about the options SDK. Let's enable it and see what happens. Let's continue. And options SDK. Do I have to connect to that? Okay, here we go. Options SDK. Craft your own SDK. Introducing the Logitech Crown. I am not sure what that is. Click here for the complete SDK documentation. Yeah, this is a little bit beyond my knowledge right now, so we'll probably have to come back to this later on, because it says go to file and then code. I don't know anything about that, so yeah, let's just leave it, and I'm gonna just hit disable and just keep everything back to the default settings that I had it at. I'm pretty sure if it's not this mouse, it might be the other mouse, the Ergo Mouse MX Pro is probably the one that you can assign different profiles for your different apps, and that is that. So that is the Logitech options software that comes with or that you can download or install with your Ergo M575 trackball wireless trackball mouse. So that is it at our look at the Ergo M575 mouse from Logitech. I really do love trackball mouses, and this one is no exception. If you guys have found this review informative, helpful, and entertaining, or any of those above, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at The Workout Geek for all my latest happenings and great workout tips. Till next time, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day.